so my name is Casey Marie Baston Phillips and this is actually my first ever YouTube video. My target on YouTube is just to create a close network of supportive people that love makeup as much as I do. I've been doing makeup for about 7 months now. I've watched loads of videos on this app of people doing wonderful makeup. I've gone onto the Jennifer Celine website, paid for the tutorials on how to do some makeup, and I am currently a PR for Purple Envy Cosmetics. And because I'm a PR, I will be advertising her products on here. And also I'll be including the links to those products down in the comments section. Talking about the comments section, I would love for you guys to put into the comments nice supportive comments, not just for me but for others using the app and watching the videos too. I would love for you guys to either give me some tips or ask for me to give you tips, ask questions, give ideas for next looks and any other questions you may have, or just being generally supportive. I just love to create something that people can focus on, especially during these times with everything like COVID nonsense. It is now global, and I think everyone is getting very fed up of it, and I just think me included needs something to focus on, and hopefully me making these videos and getting more and more popular will help people do that, because you guys can actually interact and help with the videos. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I like to do is I like to have a little towel on my lap ready for brushing off excess colour, so you can transition into the next one. This is actually a nice, it's just a little one, it's a nice fluffy Purple Envy towel. She has now released the massive towels. They're about £12.50 I think. They are absolutely beautiful. This one I think is just perfect to sit on your lap to rub off some excess colour. I also like to have a drink with me because my makeup looks tend to take over an hour and I like to stay hydrated when doing the makeup. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Rimmel brow gel, and I like to just brush my brows up. This is considered the new fashion at the moment with brows, and especially with the look I'm doing today, I'd like to keep my brows nice and natural. So especially if you go onto the P. Louise makeup looks, and if you look at all of their beautiful models, all of their brows are filled in and brushed up. I think this looks absolutely stunning and I'd love to do that today. So I'm just going to take some and I'm just going to brush the brows up, and I will be back when I've done the other brow. So before I continue, I'd like to show you guys just the difference in the brow that hasn't been brushed up and the brow that has. I think it's absolutely stunning the way it's brushed up. After I put the brow gel on, I like to take this lovely spoolie and just brush up those brows and really put the hairs into place. There are the brows that have been popped up. I am now going to continue with using the P. Louise base. This is shade 02. Now, to put on my P. Louise base, I use the Purple Envy carving brush. This is brush S75. It is such a lovely brush. I like to start off by putting a little bit on my hand, just like so, not too much. And normally I would put it underneath my brow, carve out the bottom, and then put it over the top to really give my brow a really nice shape. But as I haven't filled in my brows today, I will just be carving out the bottom. So I take a little bit off of my hand, I push it into the P. Louise. I don't want to take too much because then it becomes clumpy underneath the brow, and we don't really want that. So you do really nice light strokes, just like so. and you just keep going until you get to the end. So now I've carved out both brows, I like to take some of the P. Louise and brush it down. So you push into the P. Louise. The P. Louise basically, it's like concealer, but it's a stronger concealer, it's a base. It basically grabs the colour of the eyeshadow and really makes it really defined. And it's lovely for putting on colour. It really holds the colour really well and takes it all off the brush. So you want to rub this all in. You want to put it on your nose as well. You don't want any sharp lines with the P. Louise. You then just want to blend it out on both sides. You want to push it in, once you've brushed it all around, you want to push it in until it gets tacky, and then it'll be ready to be set with eyeshadow. Okay, so the brows are all carved out. I like to take my Dress Up brush, this is the 221 brush. It is nice and fluffy and perfect for just blending out the P. Louise. Like I said before, when it gets tacky, it is ready to apply eyeshadow. Obviously you can do this with the carving brush. I just find it so much easier to do it with a fluffy brush. And you will get creases, as you can see, there's creases. This will just brush out and soothe those creases. It also flattens out and blends out the sides of the P. Louise much better than how the carving brush would. As you can see, this is much better than this side. I'll be back when I've done that eye. Okay, now I've done both eyes. I am taking the Purple Envy ballpoint brush. It is perfect for doing cut creases, and that is exactly what we're doing today. I will be applying a dark purple in my crease and blending it out with blue as we go on, and you'll just have to keep watching to see what goes in the middle. This is the Petite Crease 831 brush. Like I said, it's amazing for doing creases. So I'll be back once I've got the colour. Okay, so here I've got the La Roche Pro Artistry book. It has amazing colours, it really does. Look at those colours. They are absolutely beautiful and they are amazing for doing looks. I use this artistry book most of the time, and so it is absolutely massive. Today we are going to be using this purple, and following up with that we're going to be pushing some of this purple into it, probably this dark blue, and blending out the blues as we go on. Okay, so I have pushed the purple into my brush. When applying the eyeshadow onto the P. Louise, you really want to dab and not window wipe. If you window wipe, you won't get as much colour packed onto the P. Louise as you can, and it won't be so defined and beautiful as it can be. So I just want to go into my crease and just push that colour into the crease. It doesn't matter about coming down to the lash line. You just want to make sure it's a nice rounded shape into your crease. So I'm just going to keep pushing until I get the defined and darker colour as I would like, and I'll come back when I got. Okay, so I've got that nice shape that I've worn. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as you can see, I'm just rubbing off the excess colour onto here. As you can see, I haven't gone all the way into the corner of my eye, as we don't want it to be too defined there. It'll be really hard to blend out, and we'll have to blend outwards towards the nose. So that won't look as good as if you just blend this purple out and then do the transitioning colours up here. Okay, so it may look weird now, but like I've always been taught, to trust the process. So I have just used, from the La Roche Pro Artistry book, the shade Fizzy Grape, and This is not as dark as I want it to go, so I will now be going in with Frisky. Again, I just want to show you how to apply the colour. So this is Frisky. It's a bit darker than Fizzy Grape and will give the darker look that I really wanted. So we're just going to push it into the shape, and it's nice build up on the brush. It is exactly the same when you're applying onto another colour. You still need to push in and to give it that darker look. See, already it's gone darker, and that's exactly the colour I would like. Okay, so I've just applied Frisky on top of Fizzy Grape, and you can really see how much the colour has packed onto that eyelid compared to the one that hasn't had any Frisky applied to the Fizzy Grape. Okay, so I'm now taking the same brush and I've removed all of the excess eyeshadow, and I will now be creating small circles right on the border of my line to blend it out. I don't want to blend it out too much, just tiny little circles, so that when you apply the next colour there won't be harsh lines. If you do not blend the colour out first, you'll get purple and then blue and then a lighter blue, and it will all be really straight lines, and that does not look nice. So we really need to blend it out. When you push the colour, the transition colour back on, you get a nice blend from the purple to the blue. So let me just show you a couple first. So we go right on the border and we just make little circles. Can you see how it's starting to blend out in the middle? Not much, but it is. Can you see how this is so much more blended than this harsh line here? And you just do that all the way around until you get the blending that you desire. And you can pause the video now and come back when you finish. So just before I do the other eye, I just want you to see the difference. So this is nice and blended out, ready for the next colour, and this is the harsh line that you get if you do not blend. Okay, so the eyeshadow is now nicely blended out, and when I blended out the eyeshadow, I also went into the inner corners and just blended where we had stopped. As you can see, in the inner corner, it is not as defined as in the middle, so it creates a nice little gradient and it's not so harsh. I then completely brushed all the excess purple off of my brush, and going in with the same brush, I am using Blue Moon from the same palette. And what you want to do is, with the blue, you want to put a half and half. So you want to put half of your brush on the blended and half of your brush on the purple. This will create a nice blended colour, and yes, it will hide some of the purple, but later on we will go through it and we will redefine it. So you just want to push on there, and you don't want to go any higher than the blended point, because then it won't be as blended as it can be. And you just want to push it in and just keep following the shape that you have made with the purple. So it's not as defined at the moment, but you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you get the nice colour that you would like, and I'll be back to show you the difference between the two. Okay, so that's all the colour pushed into the purple, and as you can see, there is no harsh lines. It is nicely blended. This is without the blue. So pause the video now and just push in the blue as best you can. So that's both eyes done, and I have just removed the excess of the blue off of my brush, and the same as we did with the purple, I'm going to go in, I'm going to create small circles and blend out the blue, ready for the next colour. So again, nice small circles, just to blend out the blue. And as you can see, it's getting lighter, and that's exactly what we want, because on top of the dark blue we are going to put a lovely, lovely light blue. So I will be back for you guys watching with all the blue nicely blended. For those of you that are following along and copying the makeup look, pause the video now and blend out the blue. Okay, so now the blue is nice and blended out. It's nice, a lighter blue on the top, and it's got a bit of the dark blue that has now blended into the purple. I am now going to get a fluffy brush like this one. This is a lovely, lovely brush, and it is so fluffy at the top, and I'm just going to push into Pool Party. This is the lovely light blue here. I'm just going to push into that, and it's going to look very weird, but I am going to put it everywhere. So just because I don't want to go too high on the brow, I'm going to push it closer into the purple and the blues. And yeah, it's going to look weird, but trust the process and you'll get there. So we're going to just push in all around here, and it just creates a nice outer blue. It really is beautiful. So just for reference, this look had no inspiration. I'm just making it up on the spot, but I truly think it is going to be stunning. So just like that, and do it on both sides. Pause the video now. Okay, so I've removed all excess of the light blue off, and now I'm just going to push into all of the colours. This will take away the light blue that has gone over the top of the purple and the dark blue, and really bring out those colours. Of course, the colours won't be as defined as they were before, but that is why we're going to go back in with a ballpoint brush and make sure they're nice and defined as they were. So all the excess removed, I'm just going to push in with no product on the brush, and you can see how it's redefining those colours and blending out the blue. You want to carry on taking off the excess. It is so lovely. The colours in this are really beautiful. And can you see the difference in the blending? I'll be back once I've done this. Okay, so that's the blue all blended. I have decided to go with a different brush other than the ballpoint brush. It is another Purple Envy brush, and this is the Smoky Shader 835 brush. It's nice and rounded, and I think this is lovely to do a nice cut crease and redefine the colours. So I am going to go back in with Blue Moon, and I'm just going to blend that in more of the purple to make the Blue Moon look a bit more defined. I'll be back once I've done that, or pause the video now and go back in with the Blue Moon. Okay, so I have gone back in with Blue Moon on this eye. You can see how the blue is much more blended in with the light blue and is more defined than this eye. There's a harsh line there, and we do need to get rid of that, and I will show you how after I've done this eye. So I've now done this eye. It may not look too much different, but I assure you it does make a difference. So I'm going back in with the same brush, the 835, and I'm going to go back in with Frisky, and this time I'm dabbing into both colours instead of them separately. I am now going to put it on the corner and just underneath the blue. Once I've done this, I'm going to get a slightly fluffier brush, one more like this, and I'm just going to blend that in, but I am not going to be pushing like I was before. I am going to be doing small circles with a little bit of pressure. Once you've done that, come back. Okay, so that's the purple reapplied without blending. I am now going to take the brush that I showed before, and just blend this out into the blue. Can you see how that's nicely blending? I'm very happy about that. If there are some harsh lines, it is more beneficial to be pushing in that colour, and it will like make the colours merge together, and it will blend them if you push them together. But the preferred blending is this one, the small circles. This one I probably will have to push to blend, and I'll be back when I've blended. Okay, so I'm back and I have blended. Now we're going to do the cut crease. So I have used all the P. Louise on my hand, so I'm going to go back in and add a bit more P. Louise. I'm going to go take the same carving purple envy brush and just put a little bit on the tip. I am going to look a bit insane right now, but you put a bit on the lash. Make sure it's not on your lashes, because when you blink up, you'll have strokes of P. Louise where it's been on your lashes. So I'm just going to take some of that off my lash, just like that. And that will just give you a guide of where to draw your crease. So I'm just going to look at it does look a bit insane. Okay, so now you have the line. I'm so sorry, that looked really insane. So now you have 2 lines. So this is where I'm going to stop my crease. So I won't be going any further than here, because we still need to blend the colour in, and I'll just be going over the top of the purple with the P. Louise, and it will cover it. I'm going to go from the inner corner, and I'm just going to make my way up to here. So you can make yourself some guidelines. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try and make the line as smooth and as straight as you can. Okay, so that's the cut crease done. When you're doing the cut crease, try and make sure they're nice and symmetrical, or as symmetrical as you can get them. So next I'm going to go in with a smaller fluffy brush. It doesn't really matter what shape or size it is, but it just needs to be small enough that it can fit into the cut crease. And we're just going to do like we did before and just brush it out, making sure you do not blend out that harsh line, because that is what's going to make it look so beautiful. So just going to blend that out until it's tacky, and then we're ready to put on the pigment or colour that you desire. Okay, so now it's all tacky and I'm ready to put on my my pigment. I'm going to take the MAC pigment. This is called turquoise. It's a lovely blue glitter pigment, and I like to take a nice flat thin brush to push into the pigment and just push onto there like that. So I'll be back when I've done that. Okay, so that is all the glitter applied. So this is the trick for blending the glitter with the eyeshadow. So as you can see, I haven't gone all the way on either of them. I have gone all the way to the top and not over, but I haven't blended this bit because we're going to push back into Fizzy Grape and Frisky, and we're just going to apply it on the edge of the glitter and blend. We're just going to blend the purple in with the glitter, and this just creates a lovely look. See how you can blend that, and then there's a straight line there. It absolutely looks so beautiful. And pause the video now to blend the glitter into the purple. Okay, so now that's all blended in, I like to take a cotton bud with, well, it's not a cotton bud, it's a cotton pad, with some micellar water on, and just go underneath and just take off any excess eyeshadow that have fallen down, or maybe any glitter that's underneath. Just ready so we can put on the foundation. So the reason I do my eyes first is just so that when you do looks like this, it is nice when you do simple looks with the brown looks, or if you just want to go out and you put like a light brown in your crease. But when you do looks like this, you will get fallout with glitter and dark colours. And if you put the foundation on your face before, then when you get the fallout, you're going to try and blend it out and put more foundation over the top to try and cover it up. And it'll just turn into, in my case, if I had foundation on, a blue foundation. So we don't want that. It is just so much easier to put the eyeshadow on first. That way you can lean on your face, and always lean on your face when you're applying the eyeshadow. You can lean on your face and you can get it more precise, and you won't have to worry about fallout. So now I am going to prep my face with, this is just from Primark, as you can see it's only £3. It is a Prep and Perfect Oil to Milk Cleanser. Just want to put the tiniest bit on your hand because it is so oily, and you just want to rub that in, and it just preps your face and gives you a nice cleansed face for when you're putting on the foundation. And I find, especially if you're doing your brows, if you put this on your brow before you apply the brow pencil or the brow shade, it makes it so much easier. It just slides across and you get it perfectly. It really helps put on the foundation, and it makes it just protects your skin. You can do the same with moisturiser. It doesn't really matter as long as your skin is nice and hydrated underneath the foundation. Okay, it's foundation time. So I've got a MAC foundation here. It's a little bit dirty, but I've got a MAC foundation here. It's a Pro Long Wear foundation, and it's such a lovely colour and it blends so well. So I'm just going to put a bit on my face. This is probably not how most people put on foundation. And when you're blending in, whether you're using a brush, a blender, a beauty blender, this is a Purple Envy beauty blender. They are amazing. Make sure to wet it first. So I've taken just an empty set and spray container, and I'm just going to spray my beauty blender. You don't want to make it soaking wet, but you want to make it soaking wet, but you want to make it damp, so that when you blend it, it blends nice and well. It has amazing coverage as well. It really is an amazing foundation. I'm back when I've done my face. Okay, so that's my face done. I know most people will know this, but for real big beginners, make sure you blend your foundation down your neck so you don't get one colour up here and one colour down here. If you have amazing foundation and it's completely colour checked to your face, then it won't really matter, but you really should. So now it's nice and shiny really, but I would like it to be a bit more matte. So I'm taking a pressed powder foundation from Primark and a big fluffy brush. I'm just going to push that all in my face, and I'll do one side over here. It really doesn't take long, so I'll do this bit on camera. It doesn't take long. Just press it in, and you can see how this side is a lot less shiny than this side. See how nice and shiny my face was, and now how matte it is. It's really up to preference, but most people like it to be matte and not shiny. if you would like, if your brows have dropped a little bit, you can always push them back up with some brow gel, but be careful because you have put foundation over the top. It might take some of the foundation off, so I would suggest just taking a spoolie and just push the brows back up. Okay, so now I'm going in with some contour. This is the highlighting contour palette from Revolution. It is my favourite contour palette. I absolutely love it. But Purple Envy also do an amazing contour palette. Well, you can use this as a contour, but it's more as a highlight. Today I'll be using this one as a highlight. But you also have a highlight in the Revolution palette just here. So I'll be using this for contour, and this one for highlight. Is a beautiful highlight. It's so strong. I love it. While we're talking about the Purple Envy palettes, this is the This Is Me palette, highlight and contour. And this is Me. Sorry, this is The Future Is Bright. This is the This Is Me palette. Inside, you have lots of colours. You can choose the colours you would like to put in there. She has loads and loads and loads of different colours. It comes with an empty palette. The empty palette is £10 and it's £1 per colour. She has shimmers, she has dark colours, she has light colours, she has matte colours. If you would like, you can have an all natural palette, you can have a playful palette like I do. You can choose any colour you would like to put in the palette. It's absolutely beautiful. So without further ado, let's go into the contour. So I'll do this bit on camera because I'd like to show you my technique of putting on the contour. Most people like brush it in like this, but I absolutely love to push it in because I find that it is a lot more effective and defining than just brushing it in. So I take it from my cheekbone and I dab it in, just like how you do with the eyeshadow. So you put the P. Louise on and you push it in. This time I put the foundation on and I'm pushing in the colour. And there's nothing wrong with brushing it, but if you can look back at when we did the eyeshadow, window wiping is brush it in and the pushing in is packing the colour. It's all really the same technique. Just on the eyeshadow, it is much better to push in than dab it in, and on the contour it is better to push it in, but rubbing it won't do any harm. It's not a bad technique, you just won't get as much colour as you would pushing it in. You have a lot more control pushing it in as well. So I'm going to do this side, and don't get me wrong, I will blend it in like this when I need to. But yeah, I'll come back when I've contoured my face. Okay, so that's my face contoured. You can also take the big fluffy brush that we use for the pressed powder foundation, and you can just dab that in, and not the pressed foundation, but you'd dab the brush onto the contour. I also did a bit down here just to contour my jawline. Really blend that in. Oh, and up here too. And it's absolutely beautiful blend. So for my nose, most people that are using powdered contour on their face will use it on their nose as well, but I much prefer to use a contour stick. This is also Rimmel, and I just like to put it on here like this. I find it so much more of a straight line, and you get so much more control with a stick than you do with powdered contour when it comes to the nose. So when I like to blend in on my nose, I do use a beauty blender. I use the bottom of the beauty blender and not the top, and I just like to blend that in, and it blends in so lovely. pause the video now and blend in your contour. Okay, so I have now blended in all of my contour. I think it looks absolutely stunning. And before we add the highlight, sorry, the brush I use for the contour is an Iconic brush. They are absolutely, where's the sign? There it is. It is absolutely beautiful for pushing in that contour. Now I'm going to be using a Morphe brush. This is absolutely lovely. I love this brush. It is so lovely for putting on highlighter. But before we do that, I am going to put on some Iconic setting spray. It's the Iconic London Cosmetics setting spray, and I like to put this on before putting on highlighter. Some people spray the brush to pick up the highlighter. I put it on my face, then when I push it down, it sticks to the setting spray, and it's much brighter than it would be if you just put it on and then put the setting spray on after. This is a lovely, lovely setting spray. It gives you a nice glow. It has nice sparkles in it, so when it dries you have like sparkles, and it's really lovely. So I'm just going to let this dry, and then put on my highlighter. So for this look, I really do think the Future is Bright palette is very lovely for this look. I'm going to be dabbing into this one and this one. The gold is really, really beautiful, and I'm just going to be dabbing it on here like this. As you can see, it is so, so bright. It is so lovely. Look at that. It is, oh, it's stunning. It really is. Contour, highlighter? No highlighter. It is one of the best highlighters I've ever used. I'm not even saying that just because I'm a PR. It is very lovely. Obviously you can have it as bright or as dull as you'd like it. I also put on a bit on my Cupid's bow. And for photos, I do put a little bit up here, just so that if you take a side photo, you can see some shininess there. Obviously, it's a bit bright at the moment. So again, I take my handy fluffy brush and I just dull it down a little bit. You can see that's dulled it right down, and blend, blend, blend. See how much better that looks now. And yeah, I'm going to get my lipstick. And okay, so I almost forgot. If you would like, you can put a little bit of the excess eyeshadow underneath your eye after you've done the foundation, so that when you put the foundation on, it doesn't cover the purple eyeshadow and you don't get a purple foundation. I'll be back when okay, so that's the under eye all nicely blended out. With a big bold look like this, you will need to use a nude lipstick or a gloss, maybe a lighter pink gloss. On Purple Envy, they have so many beautiful shimmery glosses that you can use for big bold looks like this. If you're going for a more natural look, you can do a darker colour. Purple Envy also do a nice bright red. This is the Purple Envy red, number 2. It is so lovely. I put it on all the time and they really stay on and they dry really quickly and they go very matte. This is the 25 nude one that I'm going to put on today. They also have a dark brown one, and like I said, their shimmer lip glosses are absolutely beautiful, and they also have a clear lip gloss that you can put over top of the matte to make it look more shimmery. So I'm just going to apply this now and pause the video once you've applied your choice of lipstick. Okay, so now my lipstick has been applied. As you can see, it's nice and dry, nothing comes off. And you can see the highlighter just creeping at the top there. It looks really stunning. And now we're going to go into the eyelashes. So I like to take the Barry M Future Length mascara. It's absolutely beautiful, and I just pop that on top of there so that when we're putting on the eyelashes, it has something that you can pinch it to, and you don't have the eyelash and then your eyelashes. They stick together and it looks way better. Oh, you can just take that off with a Q-tip. I'm going to take this off and I'll be back. Okay, so I've just applied my Purple Envy lash glue to the lash. These are the Mulan lashes. They are stunning. They are one of my favourite lashes. I'm just going to take the middle of the lash and apply it on top. Make sure you do one lash at a time, because it will get a bit complicated. It'll dry when you're trying to put it in place and it just gets a bit messy. So what I'm going to do now is a bit hard to do it on camera, so I'll just explain it. I'm going to this is also Purple Envy lash applicator. I'm going to take this end and I'm going to fix it in place. I'm going to take this end and fix it in place, and I'm going to take little strands and I'm going to pinch it together. And then after, I'm just going to pinch with my fingers and it'll be nice and straight, and I'll be back to show you. Okay, so these are the lashes applied, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. The lashes, obviously you're not going to wear them on a daily basis. These lashes are more suited to dramatic looks such as this one, and they are so fluffy and so long. I really recommend these lashes. They are so beautiful, and I just put a bit of mascara on the bottom lashes as well. So I think that is it for this look. It has been so fun making this YouTube video. I will definitely be posting more, if not another one today. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you.